Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Fluid, and we're gonna talk about fear, or fear of creating specifically. What causes it, how it manifests, how to manage, fix it, or cope with it. Well, you can't really get rid of it, so if that's why you're here, then. And number one, identity. Why? Because if you don't believe you can be a creative person in the first place, then you're not gonna be a creative person because you're not gonna take the necessary steps to even prove yourself false, like disprove your notion of yourself not being creative. You're not even gonna take those first steps. So get rid of that. You're not a creative person, you are a creative. Get rid of number two, and that's gonna be fear of failure. Fundamentally, it's pretty simple, right? It's the consequences of failure, perhaps, that make failure scary. Not the failure itself. Well, it's the consequences. And so I think this one is actually pretty simple to manage by just changing your perspective on what it means to fail. If you think failure is the end all be all, and then you'll stop at making the first attempt. After the first attempt of whatever you're trying to do, we're creating in this example, like I'm doing this, recording this video, and I fail, and I'm like, I don't, man, and nothing is gonna come out of this. Instead of this, I'll offer you an alternative to how to think about failure, which is see your attempts to make something as experiments or only attempts, instead of seeing it as something that has to become something. It doesn't have to. You can like delete this after I've made this. And I feel like in that instance, I'm still creative, but like my goal is to actually post this, so I feel like I'm not done until I've posted it. But it doesn't necessarily have to become something that like perfect, right? And I feel like perfectionism has a lot of ties into fear of failure. Like almost always perfectionists are afraid of failing, and that's why unless this thing is perfect, it's not done yet. And when is it ever gonna be done? When it's perfect? Well, perfect doesn't really exist, and that's why we say don't let good be the enemy. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? Something can just be good enough, or even fucking trash. That's what you set out to do, right? And that's what I think about fear of failure. See your creation as an experiment, and it'll give you the space to make mistakes. And if your goal is the outcome of what you're trying to do, instead of the process of learning and growing with it and getting better at it, if you don't have an intrinsic motivation in what you do, then you'll never get as far as someone who does. Someone who just likes doing the things that they're doing will be almost always, if not always, better than someone who does it for an external reason. Number three, fear of the unknown. Creativity generally requires the creator to be uncertain of what the final shape of their creation is gonna be. And basically what you gotta do is just fuck around and find out.
And how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
So when it comes to like fear of the unknown and how to contend with it, just know that the best creations are often the furthest from their starting point, and you just have to let go of your preconceived conceptions of what your work should be. And of course it's good to have like a core concept of what something could be, but like just stop dwelling on the details and just make it, see how you like it. Maybe other people like it, even if you don't, and that's often quite true. I just want to say one more thing as well. If you've been liking this video so far, I do want you to comment down below what you think about it. Maybe add your own thoughts to it. Perhaps like the video and subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Like help a nigga out, you know what I'm saying? And stay tuned for the rest of it. Next up, number 4 is fear of judgment. It really hurts. Sometimes it really hurts a lot when you're something that's really personal gets judged, because it feels like you're being judged in a sense, and it doesn't really feel good when your self-expression is being scrutinized by other people. It often feels like the way to avoid judgment is to not do anything at all, but by doing this, what you're basically I forgot that word, but basically what you're basically doing is keeping yourself small, and what you're doing is wasting the potential that resides in you. I believe in you. In fact, what's keeping you small isn't other people. Think about it. It's your actions. It's your inner critic fucking with your mind, telling you things just in order to keep you safe. It's making a bubble around you so you don't have to ever explore outside yourself. What the inner critic is doing is just keeping you small, in fear of those judgments, because judgments hurt and you don't want to get hurt. The answer here is not getting rid of your inner critic. It's just taking a risk. Take small risks. Start small. See how it feels. Right? Just be like, yeah, it might hurt. I don't know. Just do it. Small, simple steps. 3 S's. Remember that shit. So, we're wrapping this video up. I hope you find the courage to just take that first step in face of your fears. That is what courage is acting contrary to how you're afraid. And if you like this video, I recommend you to just go check out my channel. Here's another video. I don't know how to put this shit up. Maybe here, maybe there.